Okay, there we go. Hello guys. Right, yeah. Took a break from this yesterday because holy shit, the last stream was frustrating. But yeah, in terms of what we're doing today, so I'm going to simplify the eye a little bit, just for today's renders. So I'm going to remove the volume rendering, just so we get quicker renders. The main thing I want to start addressing is the Limbus. So we set it up at the end, well, by the end of the last stream. But I found that like when I let it render like off stream, the light response wasn't really correct. So let me see if I've got this. I know I've got it saved somewhere, so let's see if I've got it in here. Yeah, so the Limbus right now it's kind of visible on both sides. Like we got this kind of blue tint, but it's visible as well, and arguably more so on the side of the subsurface, which isn't really what we see in the ref. Like it's there, but you see it stronger in these areas. I think this eye was a bit better for it. Yeah, like you see it, like it's on both sides, but the blue is much more visible on the side opposite of the kind of subsurfacey thing. It's on the same side as the light. Ours is inverted, which means that something about the way the shader is working is completely incorrect. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time today trying to figure that out. Now, the render times are horrific because of the volume. Like, I think this frame, it wasn't this one actually, but a cleaner version of this took 2.5 hours, which is ridiculous. And again, I will stress over and over again, this eye isn't for like better results. It's more just to figure out like how I could build this. It's more of a if I could rather than if I should type scenario. So, you know, I've been getting a lot of messages behind the scenes, people being like, "Oh, why don't you just like texture some geometry?" It's like, I've been doing this for 12 years. I know I can texture geometry. It'll give you a great result. But this is experimentation. It's trying to just figure out if something can be done. And it's more about learning more intricacies. I think it will benefit me as an artist to figure this stuff out. So I will stress again, like, unless you are quite advanced in look dev, don't bother with this. Like, it is going to cost you more time. And hell, even if you are advanced in look dev, like, you already know well enough that you don't need to do this. So just putting that out there. It's gonna be a bit of a struggle, but yeah, we'll figure out the Limbus today, hopefully. And yeah, I guess with all that being said, I'll start simplifying these meshes. So for now, what I want to do is just straight up disable the volume rendering. So let's go into our eye geometry. And then we're just going to duplicate both of these. Although I don't need to duplicate both, but duplicate both of these. Duplicate region. I'm just going to name this surface. And then same for this guy. Surface. There we go. So I can hide both of these. Set both of these geometries to render as surfaces. And that will speed up our render like a huge amount. So volume 0, volume padding doesn't need anything. Same for this guy. We'll keep the same shader applied. Hey Miroslav, how's it going, man? So that will already be quicker. There we go. I'm also going to go into my render settings, ray depth, volume. I'm going to keep it at 1, but the samples, I'm wondering if, that's a good question actually. I'm going to see if this works. I don't know if the scattering inside transmission is handled by volume indirect or not. I feel like it would be, but let's find out. So I'm just going to cut this area. Let's just let that render for a moment. It's so much quicker. Okay. So then cut that in half and turn on volume indirect samples and add some ray depth. what I'm hoping for is that the middle of these two lines looks the same on both sides. It looks like it does, which is good, because that means that transmission scatter isn't volume indirect. It's handled separately. Now, how that's handled, I don't know. That's the same, isn't it? Yeah, it's the same. Cool, so we can kill that. So I can set these both to 0 and have much, and have much faster render times. So we got that. Cool. So that will let us work on this a lot quicker. Then I also need to quickly debug, although I'm pretty sure I already know what it is. Quickly debug this. I'm 99% sure I already know what that is. So let's just go into our UV. Hey Fahad, how's it going? So UV sets, this is ramp UV shell selection, cool. And then what we want, oh they are both there, okay. So let's go into that cornea. Oh. UV ramp UV shell selection. Cool. Ramp UVs is working as expected. Touch UVs will need to touch for a while. And then let's see what map 1's doing. Okay. So that's the inside. Okay. There we go. Cool, so that's that fixed. Save this. So, Limbus. Render this from the front. I'm going to change the light rig. Let's do render cam B. This one's going to be just straight up in front, like this. So, zero that out, zero that out. What's the focal length from this guy? 85. Yeah, I like that. And then set this guy to update full scene. Did you figure this out yet? Did I figure what out? Render cam B. Okay. So then let's go into our light rig. We need to do, I think my bathroom light rig will work for that. There we go. Then we want this to be primarily lit from the side. I'm not going to do like a light match, but I'm going to get this just a little bit closer. 120. 155. -1. Wrong way. I had a problem with the previous stream where objects disappear for some reason. But I don't remember objects disappearing. I had an issue with the textures not like copying across. Okay, so again, we're not light matching, but let's just get this in the ballpark. Okay, then we're gonna get this light. I have to change camera for that. Then so that to be a rectangle. Yeah, I don't remember anything disappearing. I mean, there probably was something going on, but I wasn't entirely there during that stream. Okay, so not enough shadow. So that's -1. There we go. Hey, Lucas. Okay, so we need to figure out the limbus. Yeah, we're getting it scattering there, which is the opposite behavior. I'm gonna move this down as well. Although I need to move this so that we don't get too much here. I guess really we need it to be more like over here. Yeah, let's commit to where it is. Okay, so. Mike, is there a way to deform a limbic room from Houdini and Maya at render time? Or do I have to cache everything out? I mean, deforming it at render time? I feel like I'd need to know more about what you're trying to achieve. Like, what deformation do you need? Like, what's the groom for? All that sort of stuff. I'm gonna disable displacement on this basic eye. So let's just go into Arnold. Displacement. I actually just disable. There we go. Even faster renders. Should probably enable auto bump too, actually. Just skin deformation. I still don't entirely know what you mean though. So you're trying to, like, make fur follow geometry? Is that what you mean? And if so, like, I don't think you can do that at render time. You can try doing like a wrap deformer, but honestly, like, that's not really my territory. It's not something I know much about. But yeah, anyway, right, I'm going to try to figure this out. So let's save this scene where we are right now. So we have a limbus, but it's appearing on the wrong side, which to me screams that it should be a surface effect and not a volume effect, because currently our limbus is achieved by turning down refraction, which is correct, that is one of the behaviors, but also adding a kind of scatter inside it. And that scatter does make sense for it to be on the wrong side, in terms of like, on screen left, we have the sclera, which comes in front of the limbus. Like the limbus is both the blend between sclera and cornea, but it's also the bit behind it. So we're only seeing like a sliver of the limbus from this side. But on the right side, the light's hitting the limbus and then coming through. So we're going to get this blue line. Which we do see, but I think we're seeing a bit too much of it. So I feel like we need to switch the limbus to being on the surface. Now there was a reason I can't really do that. Because I need the cornea to have a white diffuse. Hello sir, can you make a bird series? No. Explain process of making complete bird in ZBrush and Maya. No, I mean, to be honest, dude, I don't really take requests. I do this like live stream thing just to kind of give myself stuff to do. The creatures aren't really my territory. Like, I can do creatures. I've done them professionally, worked on Lion King, but it's not really the sort of stuff I enjoy. If you have like requests for digidoubles, then maybe. But yeah, I'm not gonna do creatures anytime soon. But yeah, anyway, right. So we need to have a big think. Let's remove you. Okay. So for a second, let's just try really increasing this. I'm just going to make it brighter on this side, but like, at what point does it start becoming more visible on this side? Do we have to change the reach for that? Oh, the reach is fine. Range. Let's go 2.5. I'm trying to remember which around it is. Yes, that's made it more visible. Again, yeah, it's on the wrong side. So that means we can't really do it in scatter. So we need to shift it into color a little bit. Or animals. As I said, dude, I don't really do creature work. I mean, generally speaking, I don't take requests. So, yeah, don't ask me for tutorials because you probably won't get them. Right, yeah, so this is the wrong side. So let's try putting stuff back into diffuse. So I'm wondering, should I go back to trying to do the cornea as a separate material? I think we should give it a go. Let's create a standard surface. Because I know I tried it and it didn't work, but I think that's because the way I was doing the masking before. So let's create a blend. Oh, it's not called blend in this, is it? Layer shader. There we go. Okay. So this we need. I'll rename that. Come on. So this will be sclera. Matte. And this will be cornea. Matte. Okay. Don't need to name the layers because it's just a test. Okay, so this guy set you to be fully transmissive, and for now that will be all we do. Well, I'll have to change up these as well, but it's easy enough. I keep doing that. 1.37. Okay, then roughness, not 1. 1.5 maybe. Okay. So I'm not going to worry about the scattering stuff yet, though. Please, sir. Now, Nyan, so I appreciate that you want a tutorial, but I've said I do this for myself. I'm not taking requests, so leave it. Like, I'm not going to do a creature tutorial, man. Like, I appreciate you asking. I know that you're asking because you think it's something I could do, and I appreciate that, and I say thank you, but, like, stop asking, man. Okay, so we need to get the cornea mask out. ISO cornea, there it is. So let's drag this over to you. Out color, red, doesn't really matter. Mix 2. Okay, ooh, Jesus. Oh, it's getting this line, wasn't it? Okay, so let's kill off transmission scatter. That gets rid of that, okay. Yes, it creates that line. That feels more solvable. I have a funky dream when I become a great groom. I want to do a guitar jam with Mike someday. I haven't actually played guitar with anyone in a long time. Like, it's sat there, like, whenever I'm rendering, I tend to play. Obviously, I don't do it on stream, but I play guitar whenever I'm waiting on renders. It's fun. Okay, so that line is definitely solvable, but I mean, is it even solvable by just making it so that this never reaches 1? What happens if I increase the softness? Moves that way. Oh, 1. Yes, the line stays, it just moves further and further out. Okay. Let's go 2.5. 25. 0.25. Too much work for a single person, lol. I mean, doing a creature isn't too much work for a single person. It's just I'm not the person for it. Like, you got people like Nicholas Morel, who, just to plug a friend quickly, if you don't already know him somehow. Nicholas Morel, there he is. This guy does some fantastic stuff. Like, really, like, check out him. He does some tutorials as well. I've bought one of his tutorials. And he's fantastic. Like, if you want creature tutorials, go through him. This is the Bison tutorial. This is the one that I got. It's really, really nice. Nicholas Morel, I'll put that in the chat. If you want creature tutorials, go to him. I'm not a creature guy. I've done creatures again, but like I'm not doing them. Okay, so oh, they've got 2 lines now. Interesting. Does that line go away when I add scatter? Kind of. So the depth to the same. For fur, go to Jesus. Yeah, Jesus is great. He does some really nice stuff. Okay, so this is potentially going to work. Still getting that line though. Either way, so let's try switching. What controls do we need on this guy? Well, first off, let me start by copying everything. So we know we need not scatter depth. Transmission weight of the cornea, that's the clamp. So I'm going to change mouse, this one's really annoying. I have 2 mice, I have one that's vertical mouse. They really recommend trying these. Do you make videos related to blend shapes? No. I just model texture look Devon Grim. I've done blend shapes, I think. I think I did some for sticky monsters. Um, but yeah, it's again like it's not really my thing. I just like to make pretty faces and research eyes too much. Okay, so 0.97 is the transmission weight on this guy. So 0.97. Okay, so that whitens things out a little bit. It might be a little bit too harsh, but we'll get back to that. Our spec roughness, spec gain cornea. Hold on, what? Oh, spec gain inner. Why's that got saturation? There we go. Okay, so we have that. Color of the cornea. Okay. So the cornea has roughness 0.15, okay. Oh, gross. Wonder if we could invert the order of these. Like if we render. Let me try that actually. I'm gonna plug you in there, and you in there, and then invert. No. Reverse. Could just times it by -1, but this is fine. Okay, and then we're just going to add or remove transmission from this guy. So let's go to transmission. I'm expecting to delete everything I'm doing right now, but we'll get back to it. Let's connect that there. Okay, so that's working. Does that remove the line? It does. Interesting. Okay, well, that works then. So we do the cornea, merge the sclera on top of that. That gets rid of the artifacting. I don't know if it gets rid of it or if it just hides it well, but okay, so then let's try. So will you make videos related to blend shapes in the future? Probably not, no. Again, like, I just do creature work. Not creature work, character work. Okay, so we've got Scleroman. So we've got transmission weight, so that will need. Yeah, transmission color, okay. So we need to connect up. Everything that goes into transmission on this shader needs to go to this guy. So transmission color. So that's still gonna work. Then we've got the bump, which we'll leave off of the cornea. Where's this one going to? Oh, it's already plugged in. Okay, so then this guy, scatter depth. Technically that should go to this guy. Then, so that's all transmission stuff. I'm gonna swap this graph around a little bit. Okay, oh shit. What's happening here? There we go. this. Doesn't need to be so high. Okay, and there we go. Bit cleaner. Except from this guy. He's plugged into the mask, so I'm gonna put him with that actually. Cool. Reverse. ISO sclera. Cool. So now in theory, we can add color to the sclera. So I'm gonna rename a bunch of these. Okay. Getting there. Oh wait, no, this isn't needed anymore. Yeah, it's not needed anymore. Because now we're doing a separate shader. Okay. So we need to add some controls to the color. So let's add this guy. We're going to add a limbal, just call it limbus. Limbus call. And we plug that into our be this guy, won't it? Actually, no, it'll be this guy. Wait. Okay, I'm gonna have to restructure this a little bit. Really? And this can get reversed. Wait, what am I doing right now? I need to think for a moment. I'm just doing shit. Okay, so we'll delete that. Limbus call. Okay, so we need to mask that in using the cornea mask. Mix. So we want out color. Going to mix 3. It's mix 2. Where's mix 3? There we go. Okay, then we'll set that to overwrite. There we go. It's obviously too strong, but it becomes less visible on the side with the scatter. So now I need to set up the masks to work with this guy. And I don't think we need these. Oh, we do still need the transmission color to be driven by it. So I guess this layer needs to be replaced. R&D is rough. What is going to be the way to deal with this? Okay, let's pause this render. I'm going to alt-save, because we're definitely making progress. The limbus is now on the correct side. So we need transmission color to be darkened when the limbus is dark. So this guy is still required. And it needs to plug in to this guy. What connects to this? We don't need scatter depth anymore, because it needs to be left alone. It needs to be just set to 3. Okay. Okay, so we don't need this guy anymore. And that Limbus fall off, we need to drive this guy. Oh, sorry, we need to drive both the color. So, okay, yeah, this, although it will need to be inverted, yeah, so that needs to be flipped. Currently it's set to go to white, but we need it to start at white and become like so that the cornea becomes the color. I know I'm rambling and this probably doesn't make much sense, but I'm having to vocalize what I'm doing. Yeah, so this Limbus fall off then probably needs to be. Oh, it doesn't need to be inverted at all. It's just this and this need to swap places. Yeah, let's do that. Call sclera. This needs to be changed. So that Limbus mask needs to be what we connect to this guy, not the isocornea. Yeah. So this guy needs to be what we connect up there. Okay, that's fine. So the mask needs some heavy adjustment, but that's okay, I think. Okay, so back to 0.5. Number reach needs to be massively reduced. Not that reduced. We need these to be connected now. Oh, Jesus. Okay. So does this act as a multiplier now? I know this is too strong right now, I don't care. You can see though we are getting the correct result now, where it's like brighter on the side that's being lit, and it's being overridden by the scatter color on the other side. Like this color will be there, but it's being scattered through. Okay, so the softness of the cornea I need disconnect there, don't I? Okay, so we get the cornea. So this needs a new way to be limited because it has to be set to 1 to work. Although, is that automated and I'm just not thinking about it? It is, isn't it? As I make the cornea blend tighter, the limbus gets tighter. So it's actually just automated now. This bias is very, very restricted though. Way to increase this guy maybe. Okay. Yeah, so it is automated now. So corneal softness changes the size of the limbus. And then cornea fall off still does its job. So fall off would need to be around here at all times. Well, not really all times, but the default should be around that. Should I normalize that? So that 0.5 is about correct. I should have been saving snapshots this whole time. Just gonna switch to render cam so I can just quickly line these up. Oh no. I don't know, we're just saying through too much, aren't we? Okay. So we need to change corneal softness. Reduce that. Let's go 3.5. There we go. Okay, let's quickly change the lighting back to make sure this is all still working. Is this broken again? It has. Oh god, this thing. How does this keep happening? But every now and then the subsurface just breaks. So it does this. We'll return to that. I'm going to keep working on Olympus and we'll debug the subsurface later. Okay, so we have that working. So now, does this still function if I set that to black? Okay. We can't set it to black. Okay, so it breaks at black but works up until there. Yeah, this isn't connected, is it? We need this to be its own thing. So the Limbus isn't added here. Not quite. Okay. So we need transmission color to be white, but to fade to these colors. So actually, this does need to be inverted again and used exclusively for transmission. And this guy needs to be fully colored at the end there, which is fine, that's no issue. Okay. So we need the same thing to drive this and the other one. So let's do transmission call. Actually, no. Actually, yes. Okay. So call that needs to be kept at white. So you're the Limbus color now. Color constant. Bright blue. As we darken that. We get the dark ring. If I set that to white. Okay, so that works now. So white is no Limbus. Still a little something going on though. Black is dark graying. Which fades... It's affecting the scatter too much. Like the subsurface, I mean. At least I think it is. What happens if we're increasing corneal softness? Oh, Jesus, a bit high. So we kind of always need it to fade to blue a little bit, don't we? Even with the dark graying. Is that always blue? There it goes from black to blue. Even here a little bit. Okay. So we need to rethink how we're structuring that Limbus color. So that's like 0, 1, how sharp is it? Pretty sharp. We're just seeing the edge of the iris here, it's no big deal. Which actually means I need to bring this forward. There we go. Okay, that increases softness. Say 0.1. Too sharp. 2.5. Okay, we got the forever back and forth, haven't we? So I should probably at some point find a way to normalize those two. So that as I increase softness, it goes forward and backwards. It's pretty easy to do, to be honest, but I'm wondering where this blue is coming from, because that's not in my shader anymore. Like, that is blue. Seems like the global illumination is blue. There isn't any reason for it to be, though. Like, all the lights are warm-toned. Hi, nice to meet you too. Just become more washed out of nowhere. Oh wait, did I accidentally turn... Hold on, what? Go for my lights, there we go. Okay. Where's that blue coming from? My lights are white. Came from the window. I don't think it has though. So this is a pure white light. Like if I go onto this guy, there's no other lights in the scene. This guy's pure white. We're still getting that blue. Have I, somewhere along the line, accidentally made this actually physically correct? I mean, that'd be hilarious if I have, but... Why is this more correct now than when I was actually doing stuff? Yeah, that's legit blue. Legit, have I accidentally made this more accurate? Or is it the bug from earlier? Yeah, everything's blue, isn't it? So the subsurface breaks for some reason. I'm just gonna hide the aqueous humor for a moment. Just need to... Does it come from the subsurface? Oh, should that should the Limbus be a multiplier? I think it should, shouldn't it? Because that would also make more sense. And it would blend better, I think. Yeah, it goes blue as I increase that radius. So this we actually are getting as a result of subsurface. Fascinating. Wonder if that's the actual cause of it. I mean, the whole thing shouldn't be blue, but... I'm just seeing what's going on with this. I'm going to set this as a multiplier. I think that'll be more accurate. So let's unpin that. Yeah, so now Limbus doesn't actually change the color directly. Weird how it re-enables all the lights every time. Yeah, so we need to find a way for it to not affect the subsurface scatter too much. Eli's showing why I'm working. Yeah, I'm not working. Yeah, we don't want it to affect the subsurface. So that means I'd want the value. Do I want this to only ever be color? Maybe that'd be the way I do it, actually. It doesn't change the value, it only changes the hue and saturation. And that would prevent this from darkening with the Limbus. Is there a color blend mode? Don't want color blend. Color dodge, don't want that because dodge is adding. This is about to get gross. Don't question it yet. It's far too soon. Input 2, input 1. Mix 2. Oh, it's mix 3 that I want. So now yeah, now it doesn't change the value. So I can move this around, it doesn't do anything. There has to be a blend mode for that, right? Where it only takes value? Okay. It's too strong right now, but that's fine. Because then the value is derived from this guy. Where we got the Limbus color, which becomes value only. That goes into transmission color. And that now means that when I darken it, if I set this to black, we shouldn't get that dark ring in the subsurface. Yeah, we don't. Okay, cool. Problem solved. I can go back to living somewhat of a normal life again. See, this is the bullshit you have to figure out in LookDev sometimes. I need to clean this up though, because this is very messy now. And I'm not happy with the Limbus color being defined here. But I think that's okay for now. RGB to HSV. Limbus call. Sclera V. Limbus HS. Merge. Layer. Limbus call. Then outcall Sclera. I would prefer to do like a blend colors or something, but I'm not sure. Not sure if that's the way to do it. Okay, so we have Sclera, no Limbus. Okay, so that solves that problem. Okay. Where do you go to? Okay, that's still fine. See, this does still eat away at the oh wait, yeah. So our Limbus fall off isn't the one driving this blend. Eh. I actually need to, okay. Open this up. Okay. Has this just become non-responsive? Okay, so that's to 0.5. In fact, no, I said 0.1. Oh, that's Limbus fall off. Okay, let's set that back to 5. Limbus reach is what we want to change. It's 1, isn't it? Fuck, okay. Yes, this became a multiplier, didn't it? But it doesn't... It fucks up the rest. Okay, so we need to restructure how we're doing this limbal mask. Because we need this to stay at 1. But changing this won't do much. Okay, let's take a quick break from that, because I'm going to fold my brain. Perspective. I'm going to have some water. I trust that the mute button works. If not, I apologise for the ASMR. Okay, so this limbal reach with the new setup might not be entirely helpful. Cam A, let's go. Cam B even. Update full scene. Sorry, I had less contrast than that earlier. Is this broken again? Max bounces. Okay, so let's start working through this mask-wise. So we have our corneal softness, which goes to our corneal fall-off. So softness is still linear. Fall-off changes how sharp it becomes. This is just a gradient, that's fine. Didn't realize it couldn't preview that. Okay. So this guy just picks where that starts. So 7, 7. If I set that to 0.5, it just moves it back. Right, okay. So that's working. So that defines edge of the sclera. We then clamp that, that's fine. Corneal softness. So softness changes the bias. So the tip is still 1 no matter what. This just changes how soft that is. I feel like I need to set an end. Oh, that is what that's doing, okay. Yeah, so corneal softness is changing what values are considered 1. Do you have a color picker? I'd love to be able to sample the pixels. Okay, so that's value 1, value 1, value 1, value 1, and then it starts changing. So there's where it changes. And it gets clamped above that. So if I increase that, say like there, value 1, okay, set to 0.9, we should have a thin ring of value 1s, yeah, and it goes, alright, cool, so that's doing also what I'd expect, 2, 2, so that just sets what is full sclera, what is full cornea, and a linear gradient between them. We then move on to the fall-off. The fall-off is just a bias which changes which direction it falls off in more quickly. So 0.5 means it's still linear. Higher values means the sclera falls off quicker, and lower values mean the cornea falls off quicker. That's set to 0.8. Cool, and then we get to isocornea. So that's the result of isocornea. We then move to limbal reach. Limbal reach is always going to be fighting that corneal. The corneal fall off is always going to be fighting this. So I need this. Do I need it to go before you? I think I do. I think I need to connect to gradient, which is where it was before, funnily enough. Okay, so now when we go here, so now 1 becomes reaches all the way to the front. Okay, cool. Limbus fall off will now work as expected. Okay. Which then goes into transmission color, limbal darkness. Okay, so let's turn this off. Then the transmission weight still needs to be set by this guy right here. Okay, so now these lock in where the cornea is, and this in theory still locks in. It's not working. Okay. So that reach. Why are you not getting affected? Let's solo this guy. That transmission color. Is it even working? It is. It's very... It's on or off. Does scatter change how well transmission color works? It does. So that now works. Which means we need to mask the depth again. Oh god, okay. But that means the slit lamp won't work. So the slit lamp needs this. Let's set that to 0.5. I think 0.5 is going to be a nice healthy value. We are making progress, though. I need to remember that. We are making progress. Okay, so we can't change the scatter because the scatter breaks this dark ring. If I just add some scatter to this guy, it goes, it's gone. So transmission color does not support depth, which means we need to switch to weight. I mean, that's okay. If I disconnect this, set that to always be white. And then this guy, we've clamped that, limbo darkness. So we'll create a range node. Plug you in there. And this is now our darkness. Out color into transmission weight. Don't you start. Now the Limbus color gets involved again. I need that set to 1. I plan on using ZBrush for extra details. Not for a long time yet, mate. I'm still building the shader. I think, and this is quite a good point to talk on though. There is definitely a obsession in a lot of artists with just getting detail in there, mainly inexperienced artists. Because it's something I've learned with time, is like, the more experienced people I meet, the less they give a fuck about details. And so, sorry, my brain is still fried from this. details really aren't that important. Light response is far more important. So I'm trying to get this so it reacts correctly. Details, when you add those on top, doesn't really do shit. Like, it will look nicer, sure, but it doesn't change how realistic it feels that quickly. 9.7. That dark ring is a real fucking killer. What if I... Let me kill this render. I do need diffuse. This feels far too sensitive. Is there any way to get... two? What if I drive the scatter color with a derivative of this? In fact, why don't I just plug that into scatter color as well? And set this to free again. Does it break? So even having a scatter color of black, scatter color and transmission color don't support each other. So like scatter color black, it's not scattering light, but the moment you add depth, it breaks. 1.001. That might be usable. That means we need depth and color to be controlled at the same time. And both need to be based on this. So in which case, this goes into scatter. fine. And then I need to connect a range to that. Come on. Depth. Okay, so that immediately breaks it, that's fine. Output max is free. Output min. Doesn't work when it's mapped. Do I just have to pick if I want one or the other? Because I want both. I want it to just work. It's so frustrating. It's still enough internal reflections. It's frustrating though, because that means that the Limbus will not work at the same time as having that scatter effect, and the scatter effect really helps on the split lamp stuff. Let's alt save. Overall, this shader is a huge improvement at the start of the stream. Is it ever about getting the perfect value in the shaders, or just a rough of it? I mean, ultimately, it's always about just getting something that works. Like perfect values, you're not gonna have a good time trying to find those. Okay. So limbo reach. We need to limit that to 1. 0.2. probably head off fairly soon because I like to play video games most of the day. I spent this morning training. So it'd be nice to have a break soon. How to avoid burning out. Taking breaks. Exactly what I'm not doing right now. Okay, so we need to resolve the subsurface issue. So temporarily, I'm going to create a new material. So standard surface. Standard surface. Put the color into you. Okay. So let's just go. I mean, caustics we don't need actually. We're not testing any of that. 0.8. Radius. Okay. See, strictly speaking, do we actually want this? I want this to be calculated on its own, don't I? I need the subsurface to be purely defined by just being on its own. I don't want V2. Yeah, that's fine. Geometry. It's not in there. Matte, no. Advanced. SSS set. I'm gonna quickly. Let's debug this. Put that there. Okay, Arnold SSS set. Because SSS set's a way to get no way to get subsurface to like talk between assets. But in this case, I don't want that. I want no shadowing or anything from the geometries inside. I want the subsurface to be calculated completely on its own. Nothing else factored in. Although Does this just mean that what I actually need is to have the other geometries be factored in, but they have their own subsurface? Sorry, it's epithelium doing that, okay. If I get you in there and you in there. Yes, it starts shadow it, okay. Let's get a nicer highlight here too. Okay. Let's create a set. It's been a while since I did subsurface sets, but actually you don't need that, do you? It's not actually a set that needs to be created. Can I A-B those? That does look a little bit different. Not much, but let's see. View, still a snapshot. Okay, so then go into this guy, remove that. No, it didn't change it. So do we need subsurface on those interior meshes? Or what if I just use like diffusion or some shit? What random what V1? No, V1's pretty bad. Diffusion might work though. It's not the effect I want, but let's assign that material again. In fact, let's get you. Why does that subsurface break so much? Is diffusion gonna be the way to go? It might be. Why is random walk doing that though? Like, is it the... Oh, I've already got the aqueous schema hidden. Wait, how long's that been hidden for? It doesn't matter anyway, but... Next, this is still broken. Like, again, if we go to random walk on this guy and connect that up, So it's completely different. Do we just start adding maps until it breaks? Start a base color. Then we go to SSS color. Interesting. Why do you break the moment that was connected? Does the SSS color need to be kept near white? That's not how the shader works, though. Okay, that's still broken. Because if I store snapshot, interesting. So that subsurface color is just breaking. Oh, is it the inside being... It is, isn't it? Oh, of course, yeah, okay, so... that's a problem. So if I plug that back in... What's happening here is we're getting subsurface, which is showing us the inside of the eye, which is super dark. If I go into... Where is it? Cornea inner. That's the mask. Bump this back up to white. That's what's happening. Although it doesn't explain why that randomly breaks. Did you try increasing the blue value of SSS? I don't think that would do anything for that. Yeah, so the inside of the eye. I mean, this will naturally go away with time. Yeah, that's what it is. So that's a red. Yeah. So I'm going to rename this to Retina Cull. I'm going to work on this mask a little bit. So I have a mask that isolates front, back. Then we need another mask, which is just ramp UVs. Basically this guy. So let's edit, duplicate without network. Okay. Okay, I'm glad we figured that out. So multiply. Multiply, divide. Let's do an AI multiply. Then all these guys plug into you. So there should be black everywhere on the outside. Yeah, and then inside should be grey. Mine's white at the front. Ooh. Interesting. Oh no, it should be white at the front. Does this need to be inverted? I think it does. Why aren't you working? Oh, it doesn't preview those, does it? Interesting. I'd be lying if I said I understood what this mask is doing right now. Okay, so disable that. Okay. For now, what we'll do then is just disable that. Then the retina color for now will have to be white. It feels like it should be avoidable though. I could just throw a temporary geometry in there. Cornea. Let's duplicate you. Yeah, okay, so isolate this guy. Delete the outside. Deflate slightly. Shading. Back cycling. Okay, cool, that's fine. Maybe we could literally just call this Retina Geo and give it a correct shader. Is it Retina? I've spelled that wrong, haven't I? Yeah, it's Retina. Yeah. Okay. Hide all this shit. Okay, so I have a retina. It's new material. Standard surface. Then UVs, UV editor. UVs, ramp UVs. UV shell, unfold. Am I rendering while I do this? Oof, I'm rendering. Okay. Layout. Okay, we'll create a ramp. And plug that into opacity. This is temporary, hopefully. Okay. So this guy should have basically no spec. Very dark. But not quite black. At least I don't think so. Show these guys again. Show this guy again. We are still getting shadowing from that. So I guess now is when we can add an SSS set to this guy. Doesn't do shit. But hey, it's gonna work for now. Okay, so now we have a more correct response. Not fully correct, but more correct. I'm gonna hide that. I'm gonna get rid of the retina color, I think. Okay, then let's check our subsurface again. Boost that a little bit as well. Okay, so let's get to we're missing that. That volume scatter is going to really bug me. I'm not doing another volume mesh. Right, okay. Still though, everything else does work. Like if I boost that, we get more. All well and good. Go to Limbus, brighten it up. We lose that. But we keep this. So value is the dark ring and saturation, and hue is the actual edge color. If I just let this render a small chunk. Hey Dominique, hey Serene. So let's do a snapshot. Set to white. We can see how we get a bit more blue. See how it's working now. It's on the correct side. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Jesus Christ. I swear English is my native tongue. And currently my only one. Where's the lens? Oh yeah. There we go. The lack of this scatter is going to really bug me though. That looks so much better. Okay, so let's A/B these. It's gonna it's locked in halfway apparently. Okay. Let's get a visual match on these. So cornea softness gonna boost to 0.25. Bring your gradient. Okay. Darken it a little bit. It's very sensitive. Okay, so then we want to change the fall off. Go 875. It's a bit too saturated for my taste. I just need to change the color. Mine's a bit too blue. shift it about there. That's the colour I'm going for. Although this colour... And it does shift from a more green to a lighter blue. But then there are controls over this stuff. Like, literally, I could just plug a map into this instead. I could totally do that. I could automate this to have a gradient of colors. That wouldn't be too difficult. Either way, let's kind of a bit more of a dark ring. I'm not going to go all the way for this, although it would be kind of cool. Just add a little bit more limbo. Oh, limbo reach is already really high. So let's say 0.3. But then just change the fall off. We are getting that nice gradient from blue to black for free, which is good. Point 0.5 works best for my eye. I'm going to try a lower value though. Bit too dark. Just need to change the sclera color to match. It's so annoying about that scatter. It makes such a huge difference. I'm wondering, like, what do I want more, the limbo rings or that scatter? Granted, it changes the lighting in a very, very gentle way. Let's find that sclera color. Gonna increase that. What happens if it puts like 3? That doesn't change much. It goes back to 0.8. Saturation picks up. It's interesting. Okay. Too saturated now. That's promising. Yeah, close enough. Okay, so now that's scatter. I'm gonna just quickly test. Let's turn that back off. Kind of want a bit more of that blue though. The blue seems to be hiding again. Where's that blue defined by? Not you. Oh yeah, okay, cool. So this also then controls the bias between those two different colors. In which case, we want limbal reach to be the one that masks this, right? That feels better. Now they're a bit more decoupled. You still snapshot. This behavior still isn't very good. Okay, I'm gonna have to revisit how these controls are working. Yeah, because the mask for the mask for transmission and mask for the visible limbus are going to need to be offset from each other slightly. How do I even name that? See, visually it feels like it's gone backwards, but there is more going on now. Jesus, no. So the weird thing is, like, I do quite like the way the old one looked, but it's like incorrect. So it feels like it's just a case of like experimenting more. It's too soft. Seven five. Close enough. We are still getting that blue. And we shouldn't be. Gonna down the saturation a little bit. I wonder why that's having the effect it is. Limbus fall off is maybe the wrong word for this. What time is it? Okay, 2:30. Mute that. Yeah, this bias is having too much of an effect on the position of the cornea as well. Actually, no, it isn't. It's not moving anything. It's just changing the darkness of it. I'll put my finger there. I'd say that's where it starts. Yeah, it's not moving it, okay. It just feels like it is. So this is effectively a blend between blue and black. Yeah, don't like that behavior. And I kind of like it in a way. Because that means this controls more. Although... Yeah, no, I don't like that behavior. That's kind of gross. That's having way too big of an effect. Why is reducing this? Okay, that seems like a tomorrow me problem. Because this shouldn't interact with the proportion of blue to black. I'm gonna put that scatter back in, see what happens. View, still snapshot. It just immediately feels better, but we lose the black. I wonder how I got that. Oh, that's the internal diffuse strength, isn't it? That's a good point, actually. We need that control. Ooh, okay. We'll be rebuilding quite a lot in the next stream. Either way, though, we have something. Gonna desaturate this a lot. Okay. It's so annoying that scatter and... There has to be a way to do that, surely. Wait, actually, if I put that on... How happens if I change the anisotropy? Nothing, okay. Well, okay then. Can subsurface do the same thing? Oh, God, no. Okay. I like the bleed off that's giving, but it's not... It's obviously not what we need, but... Set that back to 1. That is kind of nice, though. Makes it so much darker. It doesn't give us the same effect as... Okay. Interesting. I think we're back. For some reason, music's gone now. Oh no, it's coming back. That was weird, yeah. For some reason, the stream decided to drop out. Well, OBS specifically. Internet was fine. Everything else was fine. But yeah. Well, I think that'll be it for this stream anyway. I'm gonna close that. Let's get the strummers back in here. Remove the preview geometries. Okay, we'll add some more samples. And then I'll just leave it going. Let's add transmission depth 2, volume indirect. Let's add one sample to that. There we go. Cool. Well, we've solved a few issues. It's not fully functional yet, but we have solved quite a lot. So I think that's a good place as any to end the stream. I'm going to start a render, because now we've turned the volume back on, it'll take forever. But yeah, I'll start a render, post it to the Discord later, and go get some food, because I'm quite hungry. And yeah, well, I won't be streaming tomorrow, because I've got ice skating lessons. So probably see you guys on Tuesday again. Not entirely sure. Just keep it down on Discord. If you're watching a stream, you're not already in Discord, there should be a link on my channel somewhere. I'll check the description as well. I'm not sure if I put anything in there. But yeah, I haven't. I'll add a Discord link to the description of these videos. But yeah, anyway, that'll be it for this stream. I'm just gonna start a render and fuck off to McDonald's. And yeah, it's snowing really pretty outside. But yeah, I'll be back on Tuesday, I guess. But in the meantime, enjoy your days, and yeah, reach out if you have any questions. Bye.